Alright then gang, in this series we're going to be looking at something called Firebase AI Logic, which is a service provided by Firebase that is free for small projects and also for testing during development. And it allows you to integrate AI features into your web apps by calling the service directly from a browser, much like we can do with other Firebase services. And under the hood, Firebase uses the Gemini API to handle those calls and messages so that a Gemini model can respond to the prompt that we send, which Firebase then returns to the client so we can do something with it, like render it to the browser. So we'll be adding Firebase AI to this project, which is called Chronicle Me, and it's a daft little journaling application whereby we enter a diary entry for the day, then we choose a personality to kind of glorify that entry with, and when we hit submit, we send a prompt using the Firebase AI SDK to a Gemini model, asking it to rewrite this diary entry using that personality. And when we get a response back, we can render the entry right here. So that's what we're going to be building. And in this first lesson, we'll be setting up the starter project and linking it to a brand new Firebase backend. So then this is the starter project we'll be working with, and a lot of the basic functionality is already there. We can log in, we can log out, we can navigate between different pages, we can fill in the forms, etc. But there is absolutely no Firebase AI logic added yet. And currently, if we fill out the forms and submit them, then we do make a Firestore document in the database, but we don't do anything with the original entry. We don't prompt an AI model to change it using the personality we selected, and so it's just going to be saved as it is at the moment as we enter it into the form. Also, we've got this personalities page where we can pretty much do the same thing, except when we submit this form in the future, we're not going to be saving anything to a Firestore database, and instead we're just going to be prompting the model and showing the response right here. So essentially this page is just for testing the different personalities out before you go ahead and make a journal entry. And by the way, you don't really need to know too much about Firestore databases or Firebase Auth to work through this series, because I will be keeping the focus plainly on Firebase AI Logic. But I'm not going to lie and say that it wouldn't help. So if you do want to learn about those two other Firebase services, then I've just released a course on both of them, and you can check that out. I will leave a link to the course down below this video. Anyway, you can grab this starter project from this GitHub repo right here called Firebase AI Logic tutorial. And again, I'll leave this link as well down below the video. All you have to do is make sure you've got the starter project branch selected right here, then hit the code button, and finally choose this option to download a zip folder of the starter project branch. Once you've done that, you can unzip it and open the folder up in VS Code. Alright then, so I've done that, and the next thing I need to do is install all the project dependencies listed in the package.json file, which we're going to do using npm. And in order to use npm, you'll have to have Node.js installed on your computer, which you can download at node.js.org. Anyway, to install these dependencies, we're going to open a terminal, and then we can just type in the root directory of the project, npm install, and hit enter. Okay, so now that's done, let's have a little look through this starter project, which is a simple Next.js application with a handful of different pages and reusable components. Now, I'm not going to delve too deep into the code for all of this because I want to keep the focus plainly on Firebase AI Logic, but I will quickly walk through the main bits so that you've got a rough idea about how it all works in its current state. Also, because this is a Next.js application, if you've never used that before, then some of this explanation might go over your head a little bit, but that's okay because we don't really need to know about Next.js to understand the stuff we'll be doing with Firebase, and you can lift pretty much anything we do later and put it into your own projects and your own frameworks. However, if you do want to learn about Next.js, I've made a whole masterclass course about it, which I will leave a link to down below the video. Anyway, if we open the app folder, you can see we've got a root page file here, which is the home page, and that's just a landing page for when we first visit the website. There's nothing important on that page. Inside the auth folder, I've created pages for the login and sign up forms, which are already hooked up to Firebase authentication so that users can register and authenticate. And that authentication status is managed via an auth context, which I created inside the context folder. And all this context does is set up a real-time listener which updates the auth state whenever there's been an authentication state change, like when the user logs in or out, and then it provides that auth state to the rest of the application. Again, this is all to do with Firebase Auth, not Firebase AI, and if you want to learn about this, check out my Firebase Crash Course. The link is down below. Anyway, back up in the app folder, we've also got a dashboard folder, and inside that we've got 3 more pages. The create page, which is for creating new journal entries and saving them to a Firestore database. the journal page, which is for listing all the current journal entries that have been saved to the database, and the personalities page, which is for testing the different personalities on the application. The styles for all of these pages are inside the different CSS modules in this folder as well. So the pages we'll be working on during this course to add some AI features to them are going to be the personalities page and also the create page. For the most part, we won't need to touch the rest of the application because it's not really relevant to how we're going to be using Firebase AI Logic. Finally, though, we've also got this firebase.ts file inside the lib folder, and if we open that file, you're going to see that this is the file where we import and initialize the Firestore and Firebase Auth services, and we export those services so that we can use them in other files. We'll also be initializing the Firebase AI service in this file later as well. However, there's one thing currently missing, and that is this configuration object right here, which tells the Firebase library which Firebase backend project to connect to. So all we have to do now is set up a new Firebase backend project on the Firebase website, register a front-end application for that project, and then copy and paste the configuration object that Firebase gives to us right here when we do that. Okay, so let's do that now by coming to the Firebase website, which is at firebase.google.com. And to make a Firebase project, you'll need a Google account, which I'm guessing you've probably already got. And you'll be able to sign in using that Google account by hitting a sign up button up here somewhere. Once you've done that, you're going to see this button right here, which says go to console. And you want to click that to go to your Firebase console. From your console, you can create a new Firebase project by clicking on this button right here. All right, so let's quickly go through this process. I'm going to give this project a name of Chronicle Me, like so, and press continue. Then we don't need Google Analytics for this. Create the project. This is just going to take a moment or so. All right, and then I can click on continue to go to the project dashboard right here. Okay, so now we've got a Firebase project. The next thing we need to do is register an application for the project. And the reason we do this is because we can have multiple different client applications for a single Firebase project. We could have a website or two websites, a Flutter app, an Android app, etc. And each application might connect to the Firebase backend or access the services in a slightly different way. So let's register a new app, and ours is going to be a web app. So we'll hit this option right here. When we do that, we need to give the app a name, which I'm going to call Chronicle Me Web App. You can call it what you want, it doesn't really matter. You can also choose to set up Firebase hosting for this app as well, but I'm not going to do that right now, and instead I'm just going to click on Register App. Once we've done that, we're going to see the config object that we need to copy for this application. So I'm just going to copy the object right here. We don't need the rest of the code because we've already got that in our Firebase file inside the project. We just need this config object right here, which tells the Firebase SDK which Firebase project to connect to, essentially. And then if we click on continue to console, we're going to see that now we have a single application registered for this Firebase backend. And if you ever need to access the config object again for the application, you can get it by clicking on the cog next to the app, which takes you to the app settings. And from there, you can scroll down to see that config object again. Anyway, before we go back to the code and paste this code in this object that we just copied, there's a couple more things I want to set up here. And that is to enable two Firebase backend services, Firebase Authentication and a Firestore database, because our application currently uses both of those in its current state. So then let's start with the database. I'm going to click on this and then go to Firestore. And then on this next page, when it loads, we should see a getting started button or something like that. There it is, create a database. Okay, we want the standard edition, and we can choose the location. I'm going to keep the defaults, and then I'm going to start in test mode. This is to do with Firestore rules, which is a little bit beyond the scope of this series, but I'm going to start in test mode, which means that we can access the Firestore database from the front end. If we start in production mode, then we're going to have some errors because we might not be authenticated. So let me come down here and press create. And then now we've got our Firestore database. All right, so the next thing we want to do is come to security and then authentication. And same again, click on get started. And we have to enable whichever authentication provider we want. I'm just going to use email and password because this is what I've coded in the application. So let's enable that and click on save. And that's all there is to it. All right, so back in the firebase.ts file down here in the lib folder, I'm just going to delete this current const and replace it with the one I just copied from Firebase, which has our API key and a few other things that the Firebase SDK will need to know when it's connecting to different services on the backend. So we can save this file now, and then we want to preview this in a browser. And to do that, we can come to the terminal, type npm run dev and hit enter. That's going to spin up a local dev server at localhost port 3000, so we can preview this at this address in the browser. Okay then, so this is what it looks like in the browser. This is the home page, and if we click on get started, then it should take us to the sign up page where we can sign up for a new account. If we already had an account, we can click on this to sign in instead, but we don't, so I'm going to go back to sign up. The email is going to be mario@NetNinja.dev, and then we'll do test1234 for the password. Same again down here. Create the account, and then hopefully that's going to redirect us to the dashboard. And you can see at the minute it says failed to load entries. I'm going to tell you why that is in a moment. The first thing I'm going to do though is go to write one of these new journals. So we'll just say test and then nothing much right here. And then for a tag, we'll just say boring. And then we'll select personality, eccentric wizard. And then if I click on this, it should still save an entry to the Firestore database, right? And then redirect us back to the home page where we see this error again, failed to load entries. Now, the reason that is because we need an index to be set up in Firebase in order for us to fetch these entries. And that's to do with the way we're querying them. So if you see that error, let me just go back to the entries page. If you see the error, you can go to the console, and in here we should, if I refresh, we don't see it at the minute. I think that's because I'm not logging the error to the console. Let me just go back to the code, and then inside this project, if we go to the context folder, which is how we manage the entries, and then open the entries provider right here, this is where we're trying to fetch the entries. So this query that we're performing requires an index, okay? That's why we don't see the entries on the page. So all we need to do is log this error, so console.log, and then E down here, and that error is going to get logged to the console, and it will include a link to Firebase to create that index. So let's try this again. And this time when we view the page, we can see this error. The query requires an index. You can create it right here. So you just want to click on this link. It's going to take you to your Firebase console, and it's going to ask you to save this query. So if we click on that, then it's just going to take about 2 minutes. And when it's complete, you will see right here that it says complete or something like that under status. Okay then, so now that's complete, if I head back to the application and refresh, then hopefully I'm going to see that new document we created. And we do. Awesome. And also notice this thing right here where it says glorifying. Now that is just placeholder text, which is going to show indefinitely right now. But later, when we add the Firebase AI features, that's going to update to show a snippet of the glorified entry. Likewise, if we click on this entry to see the details page, we're also going to see that same placeholder, which again will update later to show the glorified text generated by the AI model. So then, now that we've got the starter project up and running, in the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to set up Firebase AI Logic and send a prompt to a model. By the way, if you wanted to get early access to the entire course now, you can grab it on the NetNinja.dev website. I will leave this link down below the video. Just $3 to buy, or you can sign up for a NetNinja Pro subscription, which is just $9 a month, and for that you get access to all of my courses, early access to new courses, and access to my premium, longer masterclass courses as well. So again, that's just $9 a month, and the first month is half price using this promo code right here. So I will leave this link down below the video as well.